Hello everybody, and welcome to the Halls of Valor Mythic Dungeon Guide. Now as always with the trash, keep everybody healed, face them away from the group. Boss number 1 throws a dancing blade at any ranged party member. Make sure you just dodge that, you can see it off in the corner. Now, what's really special about him and different in Mythic mode is the Storm Breaths also release these tornadoes that you see here. You do need to dodge them. They do heavy damage. Now, according to what percentage Himdall is at, that's how many drakes he will summon. So 75 to 100% health is just 1 drake, 75 to 50% health is 2 drakes, and 50% and below is 3 drakes. Now the easiest way to avoid all the damage is see where the first drake is coming from after the horn. Once that storm clears out, run into there. So you see here comes the first storm. Run back into where that first storm was to dodge the other incoming storms. Again, make sure you dodge these electric tornadoes and the dancing blade, and then just keep a lookout for the drakes. Besides that, make sure that only the tank stands in front of him, because he does do a cone in front of him that hits very hard. You can see the breaths here again, and just make sure you dodge them. Boss number 2, Fenrir. Now for this boss, make sure that you are spread out, just because when he does do his leap, he does land and do an AoE. So if you do not spread out, that AoE can stack and your group will take big damage. Unnerving Howl will interrupt any spell casting, so just make sure you're not casting when that howl goes off. Here's another leap, make sure you're spread out. In phase 2, in Mythic mode, he will spawn adds. Now, the leap and the howl are still here, so make sure you don't get your spell casting interrupted. Also, make sure you're completely spread out for the leap. It does do a ton of damage. And make sure you pick up the adds. As a healer, when your tank has all of these adds on him, you need to make sure to overheal him because these adds do hit hard. Now, the only other mechanic during this phase is Scent of Blood. What Fenrir does is he targets another person in the party and starts chasing them down, ready to deal big damage. What this person needs to do is kite Fenrir. Make sure not to get hit because he does do big damage. Now the adds can be stunned and snared, so if you need to diminish the amount of damage your tank takes, keep that into consideration. Here we have what I think is one of the harder bosses. Now we chose to do the light side first, and we decided to keep her here for a long time, but you can alternate as you wish. Now, she does do Sanctify during this phase, and in Mythic mode it's very important you dodge all of these bolts, because if anyone in the party gets hit by any of those Sanctify bolts, then everyone will take the unavoidable damage. Doesn't matter if you have a bubble, doesn't matter if you have an ice block, you will still take that damage. Now the only other thing during this phase is you see here in the back, people are exploding basically. They will have a debuff on them that will cause them to explode for a large amount of damage. You do not want to get caught in that. Now you see here that at about 50% I am moving her over. I do suggest you do alternate a little bit faster rather than at 50%. I would try maybe every 25%. Now we do move her over to this phase where Eye of the Storm starts happening, which just means run into this area. If you get caught outside, you will die. with this arcing bolt that she casts, all it is a chain lightning that hits very hard, so try to spread out. She will still cast everything that she cast in the other phase, just because the stacks don't immediately wear off, they do go down slowly. So be aware of that. You did see one of the DPS go down and my healer go down due to the bombs that come from the other side. Here we have another bomb. Everyone needs to move out. And another bomb. Shield of Light. I need to pop some defensive cooldowns. Here we have another bomb. I'm trying to move away from the group. You do see that everybody is starting to go down, but we do manage to get the boss down. Just be very careful. There is a lot of unavoidable damage there. Odin, the final fight. This fight is a tough one. Now with this fight, he will spawn adds now. You do see this vortex on the ground. Avoid standing in it. And now some of the orbs are spawned immediately. You do not want to get hit by these orbs at all. Here we have another vortex, some more orbs, and then we have an ad. You want to take down these ads as fast as possible, and these ads cannot, and I cannot stress this enough, cannot get off a cast. You do see here we do have to run out of this big AoE. Odin is going to explode. You did see I did get hit by it. If I was in a tank, I would have easily died. Now these casters cannot get a cast off. That surge will decrease in cast time by 100% each time they get it off. So they can wipe the group in a matter of seconds if you let any of the casts get off. Whoever you have as ranged, if they have an interrupt, should be on that immediately. Here we have another pull to the center, Radius Tempest. Make sure you run out of that. That can easily one-shot you. Here we have another ad that just got summoned. Prioritize that. Needs to be interrupted at all costs. We are still getting some of the summons for the spears and orbs at the same time. I understand this fight is a bit of a mess. There's a lot going on. You just need to be aware. Don't stand in anything. Interrupt the ads. And then here when they have Shatter Spears, there's even more orbs. Always try to match up your runes. They do increase your damage. But also, if you don't match up your rune, you do end up taking damage. We keep having more Spears of Light being summoned that throw more orbs. Here we have another ad that just got summoned behind Odin. Make sure you don't let him get the cast off. Sometimes it can be a little difficult if the ad is summoned at the same time when the giant AoE explosion is going to go off. But try to keep your group calm and keep everybody on task. As long as you avoid standing in anything, running into anything, and prioritize the ads, you should be fine. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on this dungeon.